So good morning, friends, and welcome to the technology series. And we have Mr. Dipak Rout, CIO Arihant Capital today with us to share his knowledge and experience, how he handled during the pandemic, what kind of technologies he adopted, and to stay relevant in the business, and what kind of business challenges his business sets demanded. Let's hear from him. Welcome, Dipak, to the technology series, and thank you for sparing your valuable time to talk to us. So let us know how you managed during these pandemic times and what were the bigger challenges and what kind of technologies you adopted.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, good morning. So my name is Dipak and I'm working with Arihant Capital Market as a head of IT. And it's been, since 2007, actually, I'm working with Arihant Capital. Since last 3 years, Corona time, yes, the scenario is different. Suddenly spike of digital, transformations activities in the BFSI segment specific to the, stockbroking has, increased. And suddenly the demand was so huge. It was very difficult to provide the solutions on time. This was the main problem. There are two things. One was related to security, and second was demand of infrastructure. There are two major requirements which was coming during the Corona time.
Right.
So infra sides, if I'll tell you, we are using Nutanix, Nutanix cloud, private cloud.
Okay.
So it was a very good decision when I have taken this HCI, hyper converged infrastructure, before 4 years, just before Corona. Because of that, when we found sudden spike of load in our systems, it was very easy to provide the solutions immediately, because it's a software based solution. So just need to upgrade or downgrade. It's a 1 minute or 2 minute activities, right?
Scalability
Then
was
suddenly, sorry,
scalability was much easier.
Yeah, scalability was much easier because it's a software defined. Suppose immediate requirement of memory or CPU, you don't have to purchase hardware and install it, then you provide to your customers. Right. It's a immediate activities. You just upgrade it immediately. Your server will be upgraded, and the end customer will not feel that problem during spike. And the major problem when Corona started, that was the major problem which we were facing. We were using actually zero trust VPN, right?
Okay.
So it was also taken before just Corona, and that was helped very it was that product was helped us a lot. Otherwise we would have been in a deep problem. Because suddenly in March everybody moved to home to start working from home. Right. So that time actually you need at least one security solutions which will connect to your enterprise applications. But because in broking actually everything resides on data center, either in the office, will not be able to provide solutions from home, right? So the user, when he sits at his home, he need to connect to his office systems first, then he will be able to access the core applications. Because of zero trust, it was secured, and immediately we were able to provide these solutions to all the employees. Otherwise, if you would not have VPN solutions, then it was very difficult. We could have taken at least 15-20 days or 1 month or 2 months, but we did it immediately. Okay. So security was much priority, because during the month of March and April, I was also using another VPN services. It's a traditional VPN, right? So immediately I was getting the UDP attacks in my networks. When work from home started, immediately I was to get UDP attacks in my network. But we scrapped all these VPN, traditional VPN services, and we moved to the zero trust VPN solutions.
Okay.
So yeah, it was helped Arihant Capital lot.
Okay. What kind of challenges, business challenges you faced from the business side of it, or what was the demand of business side of
So business. Okay, so business challenge was there was an immediate requirement of servers,
okay,
right, and applications changes.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very big challenge during pandemic. Immediately, I have seen suddenly 15,000 users spike in 2 or 3 days.
That is huge.
Yeah, it's a huge spike. If you don't have proper systems in place, then it would be very difficult to handle, right? So that was a very business, on challenge side, that was a very big challenge. And second challenge was managing employees, because once the work from home started immediately, majority of employees were not tech savvy, and they didn't work from home, right? They were coming to office, and IT team was there, and with the help of IT team, they were accessing the core applications. Whenever there is need, they just they connect to IT team immediately. When they started working from home, it was very difficult. They were not, it was like working from home was not easy for them. So we trained them, 7, 8 days, 10 days. Actually, there was a training for all employees, how to connect the VPN, how to connect enterprise applications. So that was a major challenge during pandemic.
Okay.
But it was nicely arranged in 10, 15 days. Actually, everybody was able to handle all type of applications from home.
I've been hearing this from most of the IT leaders, because in the organizations, though IT teams have been tech savvy, the other teams are not tech savvy. How did you manage to train them? What are kind of processes you adopted to train them?
Yeah, so absolutely correct. You said IT teams are tech savvy. IT teams, they used to take connections on. They used to work on remote since long time. Yeah.
Right.
But all employees are not used to on that method. The problem was very big, but yes, we train them. We connect everyone. We divided all the work in all IT teams. We put 5-10 members for each IT members, and they call them. They take the remote. They train them, how to do the activities. Slowly, it was adopted. There was no issues. But first 15 days, actually, yes, it was very big problem. Even in fact, I'll tell you one thing. Like we are into broking.
Right.
People were giving money, but that money was not processing in our backend systems.
Oh.
So it was like that.
Critical, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was very critical. If you will be transferring amount to your broker, and your broker is not utilizing that amount, it will be very difficult to face the client.
Yeah, that also
because he needs that money immediate.
That must have a compliance issue too, right?
Yeah. So it was but they learned it, and they did it properly for 2 years. Even in fact, actually, we are having very long time people who are working from home.
Wow, that has been great. So the technology being the backbone today. So what do you think? Like the IT teams during this pandemic phase, the most strenuous time, I suppose, because they were the ones who needed to probably work round the clock to provide every employee, every user in the organization how to use the IT, and as you rightly spoken. So what would the state of your mind and the team, how you motivated them to work during this time?
Yeah. So basically, yes, as you said rightly, my team, if I'll tell about my team works at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning. They start their activities, right? And they end their activities at 12. So most of the people I have seen, they work from 4 o'clock and they work till, if I'll call them at 8 p.m., still they will be in front of systems. So, yes, it was a very there was a great workload during that time.
Yeah.
And the demand was so huge. Everybody has to work, longer time. It was
Almost round
for
the
the
clock kind
office
of
work.
thing. Almost round the clock kind
On
of
the
thing.
clock, yeah.
How did you
Almost,
motivate them?
correct.
What
Yeah.
did you do to
So,
motivate?
So I generally don't call every time for work update, because that time everybody was on different kind of mindset, right? So if I'll ask in a day or two to three times, I call them for what is your work update. So then maybe he will be irritated, maybe he will be in different stage. Yeah, how much time he's asking me.
Yeah.
So I just call them. I just ask them, how your work is going on. Is there any issues? If there is no issues, take care of your health, and whatever time you are putting here, give time to for work. Otherwise, be stress free and work properly. So it was the main
So
advice
being
for every.
compassionate is one of the key thing what you mean to say, right? Being compassionate towards your colleagues and peers so that they will be
Yeah.
motivated enough to do the
Yeah.
work themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I was thinking, if I'll be asking every time about, whether you did that, why you are not doing that.
Yeah.
See, everybody was on different stage that time, right?
True.
So maybe, few family were having, corona patient, a few family was going through a different stage. So we cannot do such, questions. So we cannot ask them such questions during,
True.
this
Absolutely.
period.
How is
So
your
main
advice?
focus,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So main focus was let them work independently, and they will be doing better, if see, everybody has a responsibility, right?
Yeah.
So that's the main advice.
How did you manage your own stress?
So my stress, yes, during initial period of corona, I was having tremendous pressure also, as well as workload also. So
Right.
what I used to do, that time actually I was doing, in morning and in the evening time, I was doing yoga, and a different type of yoga I was doing. And yes, I have seen, I was getting very relaxed after doing yoga. And when uh, society started allowing people to go down, I
Right.
used to work for 4 5 kilometers in the evening. Otherwise, it was like jumbled. My mind is not working. I feel that my brain was stopped working.
I'm sure. It's been a tremendous stressful time for everybody, and
Yeah,
needed something to
yeah,
be relaxed. So, what would be
correct.
your advice to your colleagues in the industry? What they need to know to, like you said initially, the kind of technology you have adopted before the corona helped you to cope with it. Similarly, how do you foresee and plan about the future? What would be your advice to your colleagues in the industry?
Okay. See, it may be different industry requirement, but in our industry, uh, see, the requirement is different because of sudden spike of users, demat users, trading users. I think you might have uh, gone through all the news. In last 2 years, actually, the user demat account user and the trading account user is increased so huge, There's the main, because of that, actually, digital transformations started for all these broking company, and everybody is having requirement for the transformations in the application sides, as well as infrastructure side, as well as more priorities security. So if you transform your infra, transform your products,
Right.
and there is a more chance to expose your applications to the outer world. So that time, if you are not having proper security solutions, you need to have, you should have, and should plan accordingly.
So what are your roadmaps ahead for this year? What are the kind of technologies you are adopting, and what are the things you are looking forward to this year?
Okay. So for current year, roadmap is we are coming up with complete. We are kind of in a traditional broking business,
Right.
but it now will be by next month we'll be launching our new product, which will be complete online, everything online. Earlier also it was online, but it's a new business business opportunity we'll be giving to all of our clients, customers. Yeah. So it's like discounted kind of brokerage systems.
Right.
So for that product sides, there are so many innovations going on, developments going on, and infra sides. We are also looking for best RPO RTO between DR and DC, because it's a critical nowadays. If your high availability site is not there, then anytime anything can happen. So we are focusing on that, and security.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your one advice to your colleagues in the industry to stay future ready. How do you plan what to do, or how to know about what needs to be picked up? Kind of
Okay. So digital transformations is a super need.
Right.
Okay. If you are not transforming your process, transforming your products, transforming, in fact, on the resource side or people side also.
Okay.
So like, if I'll not be updating myself, I'll be outdated nowadays. It's very pathetic. So people, process, and technology, all three areas should be transformed, and you should focus on transforming all these things.
All right.
And the business will, as usual, it will go up.
Great. So thank you so much, Dipak, for joining us and sharing your valuable experience. And we will be looking forward to many more such sessions with you. And it was a pleasure talking to you. And thank you once again for sparing your valuable time. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much. Yeah.
Bye.